it's Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Today's tutorial, we're going to be doing these, I'm trying once a month, give or take. Bear with me, give me a little grace. Once a month, on the average, we're going to do a dyeing technique. We're gonna take a specific flower or a specific theme, and we're just gonna like deep dive into that. And today's tutorial is we're gonna get a little help from this lovely book. Yeah, this one right here. Let's jump into it. You guys, welcome back to another tutorial, and yes, we are going to use, this book is called The Flower Recipe. They're two lovely, I'm going to say their names wrong, I think, Aletha and Jill of Studio Cho, C-H-O-O. It's an amazing book. It's basically flower recipes. They show you an arrangement and then what you need to do that arrangement. And today's tutorial, if you haven't read the title already, which, come on now, people. It's all about the poppy, which is so much fun because the poppy happens to be the birth flower of August, which happens to be my birth flower. So I love a good poppy. I do. So we're gonna do a bunch of them. You can't see them. I've already dyed them all. My hands are all dirty. I'm filming the intro after I already did everything. That's unusual for me. Anywho, let's just jump into it, shall we? So let's break open this book and see what colors we're gonna pull from. And then we're also gonna go, you're gonna go look at my color wall and you're gonna help me pick out some paint. You are, right now. So let's do this. The flowers we're going to be using for the poppy tutorial, this is Charleston. This flower is named Poppy. We have Ginger, Mona Lisa, Charlotte, and Belle. For red, here is a handy dandy tip. Sometimes with red, it turns a little bit softer and not as a rich red as you want. Now I put all my red in here. I did add some glycerin. I definitely want to add glycerin when I'm doing these deeper, richer colors because I'm going to go less water, more paint, and more paint means harder, brittle flowers sometimes. So the glycerin's going to help with that. But here's another little tip or trick. Add the smallest amount of black, a little bit as you go. Too much and it will be too much. That's all I'm gonna put in right now. We're gonna mix this up. Now I have not added water yet. But you see, it's really already, it's making a big difference. Just that little itty bitty bit. So I'm just gonna mix this up really, really well. Then I will add my water and I will show you how pretty this red is. Again, this red was from Rust-Oleum, no, sorry, Anita's, but also from Rust-Oleum. And this is called True Red. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good and mixed up. My water is just, whoop, full in my pitcher, if you just see me just spill a whole bunch of water, but just tap water. It's not cold, it's not hot, it's just tap water. And that might have actually been too much water. I might need to add a little, well, I lift my brush up, and if like it's dripping a lot, then it might be too thin. But if it's like caked on, then it's too thick. It all comes down, it's similar to like cooking. You just start to get a feel for it. So let's try and see how this one turned out. Again, it's always just a trial and error. So I'm going to use the Poppy. First thing I'm gonna do though, because I want to paint the center black, I'm going to spray this down with just water and open up these petals. By putting that water in, you're not gonna crack the petals. It's gonna make the wood nice and soft and malleable. Is that how you say that word? But now what I'm gonna be able to do is I'm gonna spin my flower and try to keep it out of the center as much as possible. How cute is that just as is too? It would be a cute little button flower. Oops, I almost dropped it. Straight into the paint. Yeah, that's good. Do you see that red? Oh my stars. That is a red. We're gonna try to get all of the excess off without getting too much in the center. Oh, son of a biscuit. My finger was there. It's all right. And I'm just gonna kind of push up a little bit. We're gonna be painting solid black in the center, so it's okay. But we're gonna let this dry. I'm gonna kind of open up. Okay, so right there, do you see? I'm gonna open up some of the petals and smush around my paint as needed for full coverage. All right, I'm back with our red one. So I've got a little bit of black in here, and we're gonna do the same thing as we did with some of the others. We're going straight in without watering down our paint. I gotta remember where we are camera-wise so you can see what I'm doing. Sometimes with this detail work, not gonna lie, it becomes a little difficult to make sure that you can see and I can see and we all can see together. So a traditional red poppy with the black center. Now for the orange poppy, I wanted that orange, but I'm gonna add just the smallest amount like we did with the red with a little bit of black. I'm gonna add just the smallest amount of red just to richen it up even more, even though I really like this color already as is. I believe this is cadmium orange. Also has glycerin in there. It's just gonna give it just a little bit more fire. Want some fire in our paint. All right. My hands are full of red. Do you see that? All right. And we're gonna scrub it up, dub. Get that all in there. Can you see that? There you go. Where are we, camera? Where are we? There we are. I'm just mixing a lot. Some might be a little drippy. We'll see. All right, which one do we want to do for the yellow? I think we're gonna do a tiny little bell, little bell. Same thing. We're gonna take the water, spritz this down. You could also just put it straight in a jar of water, clean water to open it up. I'm just gonna do that. I feel like Belle has like these really like soft, fluffy kind of petals that some of the poppies, like Icelandic poppies in particular, seem to have. Like these, just really pretty. All right, so same thing. I'm gonna try to stay away. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna flip this all the way upside down. So I'm really gonna get it wet. Yep. And I'm going to dye it this way. See that? I'm gonna do that. Because the center I want to be yellow. I'm also going to try to keep my hands clean as much as possible, but I'm going to spray down here to diffuse this. Oh, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. We're gonna diffuse it. So where the paint is, I'm just spraying. Okay, see? We're just gonna just diffuse a little bit. We're gonna give it a little bit of an ombre effect, okay? And then we're gonna flip her back, okay? And I think while she's still wet, I'm going to grab my yellow and get the center dyed as well. And you see that mark right there? That is the bark coming through on the flower. That is normal and that is okay. All right, that's where we're at. Now the back side needs a little bit more. So I'm gonna just kind of flip this over and just kind of clean that up a little bit. And actually, I can do that, help spread that through a little bit more, faster, less water, or less paint. Just a little bit here and there, diffuse that through. Okay. All right, let's get the yellow right away and get that center painted too. So for the yellow center, I'm going to use straw. And you know, we're gonna be doing a lot of yellow centers, so I'm just gonna put it straight into a dish. Normally though, in all honesty, I just take it straight out of the cap, but we'll be a little bit more professional today, all right? I suppose. First time for everything. All right, lovely. Okay. So once again, here's our Belle. Her center is still saturated with water, which is good. You can also, it can just be completely, it could be completely dry, that's fine too. I'm going in with straight paint. I'm not going to water this down. Typically the centers, you don't have to worry about as much of the breakage, crunchy flowers, things like that. Those aren't gonna get really touched all that much. So I'm just going in and covering that, okay? So now, while we're here, we might as well add the one little touch is this little, just a little tiny bit of this yellow green right in the center. So I'm just gonna kind of smush it around right in the center. You can wait until your yellow has dried a little bit if you want, so it's a little bit more pronounced, but I'm okay with it just like that. There we go. Now if you wanted this to be even more diffused when you flipped it around, just get the paint right there and less in the center. You could go in too with another color if you want to lighten it up, but I'm loving this just as it is. Charleston is one of my favorite flowers. And the funny story, when we first got this flower, both Maggie and I were not super like wowed by it. But the more we work with it, the more we're like in love with this dang flower. So again, I'm gonna focus more on the petals right now, less on the center. You could like dye all of the centers first if you wanted to, and then come back. But we're just spraying this open to open it. Look at how full and ruffly this is. So we're gonna do a hand painted two-tone type of technique. So I'm gonna go in straight with my paint. I'm gonna really saturate the centers though, because that's where a lot of the light colors are gonna go. Okay, and I'm just gonna lay that on in. And that water's already gonna do a lot of the work for me. in terms of diffusing. And I'm gonna keep diffusing this. Okay. And I'm just gonna put my diffused paint in the pink that I'm gonna use. We're gonna go into a couple more layers in here. This is where your hands are gonna get dirty. So if you don't like paint on your hands, definitely wear some gloves. This is where a lot of the fun and magic happens too though, is this kind of playful, creative play situation. Make sure I don't spray the lens with water. That would be bad. That would be bad. All right, so I'm gonna scrub in here. Bring that color up. Scrub a dub dub. Oh, too much over there. That's all right. We're gonna make it work. Just gonna really scrub over there. Okay. Oh, isn't that fun just as is? Goodness, that would be just a lovely flower as is. You could also do this, wouldn't that be really pretty with yellows, scrubbing in the yellow instead of a pink, like throughout all of the layers. So I'm gonna pull these all back, this outer layer, do the same thing, spraying all my petals down. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Whenever I'm doing hand painted techniques, all I say is scrub, scrub. Look how pretty that is. Just, oh my gosh, like a really super roughly peony. Another use for a Charleston. God, I love this flower so much. All right, so there's that. Now though, what we're gonna do is like we did earlier, we're gonna flip this guy all the way. I'm gonna kind of hold him from the little palm, the little center. Look at that little dress. And I'm just going to try to get just the edges of the petal. I'm not gonna go all the way down like I did with the orange one. Okay, all right. And then we're gonna diffuse so that there's not this like really harsh line. That's kind of what we're trying to avoid. Oh, look at that. We're gonna flip her back, and then the underside we'll get in just a second. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going very kind of messy on this because I'm just gonna spray some water, rub with my fingers, and then it all kind of blends so that there's not these like harsh lines. Okay, oh my gosh, lovely, lovely. And then we might as well, while we're in here, swirl around. This again is straw. And there's a knot. Can you see that? A little hole right in the petal. That's a knot from the wood. So those are normal. Ooh, we got a little floppy petal, that's all right. That's normal for wood flowers to have some knots and holes occasionally because they are wood and knots happen with wood. All right, so there's our little, and I'm gonna kind of mush that in a little bit. And there we go. Oh, that's an Icelandic poppy, a nice big one. If I ever did see one. Also, this kind of coloring reminds me of a super opened peony or peony as well. All right, so let's do, this is Mona Lisa. We're going to do an all yellow poppy for that. So we're just gonna add, this was cadmium yellow. So a nice bright yellow. And I think what we might do is in the center, just add just a little bit of orange maybe. We'll see what we think. All right, so I said Mona Lisa. Where'd you go, Mona Lisa? Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. I must have set it to the side. All right, I'm not gonna do anything with this. I lied. Well, no, because the center is gonna be yellow too. Okay, we're gonna just dip dye this whole dang thing. Look at that. Oh, that's a pretty yellow. Yep. That doesn't scream happiness. I couldn't tell you what would. Oh my gosh, so pretty. All right, so shake off the excess. If there's little paint clumps, which sometimes happen, smooth those suckers out. Okay. And now I am gonna open these up a little bit, and I'm just the smallest amount. I'm just gonna go right around the ends. And I'm gonna dab this like a sun. I don't know if you can see that. Like, it's just the smallest amount. Ooh, this would work really well for a daffodil kind of technique too. We're just gonna kind of dab that, okay? And then I'm gonna go in. And it's really just to create a slight amount of dimension. There's not a lot going on there, but it's just enough to kind of darken in our edges. I'm gonna go just a little bit more. I want just the smallest amount of peekaboo happening. You could do this with a secondary yellow, like a darker yellow. So you have this like kind of two-toned, but there's that. Okay, and then again, just that little extra, go right in the center, kind of squish in a little bit of green. Hello, lawnmower. A little bit of green. There we go. A beautiful yellow poppy. Okay, so now we're gonna work with ginger. Ginger probably has the most detailed of centers that we offer. So you've got this little swirly bit, and then you have all these little extra little pieces on the ends. I'm gonna make them yellow, but this looks really pretty also as an anemone. So with the black in there is gorgeous. But today she wants to be pink. So I'm gonna do the same thing, and I have other paint on my hands. It's okay, we'll be all right. And you can listen in the background to the lovely sound of the lawnmower. It's not prepared for the lawnmower to be going off on a Wednesday. That's not normal. Okay, I'm gonna leave those, I'm actually okay with that. Coloring, I think I was gonna do pink, but now I'm wondering if I should just do like a pinky orange. Maybe we'll make a peach. Because I was gonna do something more centered in the center. Centered in the center, So we're gonna add some orange. We're gonna add a bunch of pink. And then I'm going to add this really light pink. This is pastel rose. And it's gonna make a lovely sound. Okay, and we're gonna lighten this up quite a bit. And then, because I really want it to be a soft pastel-y color, I'm gonna add a ton of water to this too. Like a ton of water. See that? I want to wash. And you can tell. Do you remember how I was saying, like when I lifted up my brush and it's fully covered? Do you see there's hardly any coverage happening on there? A lot of water, a little bit of paint, and it's creating the prettiest, softest, faintest kind of wash. I'm going in straight, and I'm not drying or not watering it down, besides what I did to like kind of pull back the petals. This is just gonna be a really pretty kind of faded flower. Not mad about it. Not mad about it at all. I think we're gonna dye one more. I'm gonna dip dye all this one color too. Oh my gosh, do you see that? Doesn't this look like also a very overly like extended zinnia? Oh my gosh, it does. It does. It does, it does, it does. Look at how pretty that is. Super faded and kind of rusticy. Rusticy, is that a word? Rusticy? It is today. All right, so we got our center. And then for these, I just go straight in. And if I get some of the petal, besides the little thingamajigs, oh, all right. It all kinds of blends together. Try not to get off the little flyaways though. Okay, so there's that. And then again, our little added touch, just right in the center. This one in particular, there. Oh, so pretty. And then the back side is still cream, but I actually like that because I feel like it goes really well with this very like soft faded look. All right, one more, you guys, one more. Now this one I have never done before. This is Charleston, and it does have a dark center. So we're gonna see what we can do for coverage, but I'm gonna dip dye it because I want it this really soft, light pink. Oh my gosh. So sometimes if you can't find the pink that you want in the softness that you're looking for, try adding more water. I'm gonna have to, after I'm done with this tutorial, I'm going to dye a bajillion flowers this pink, just so y'all know, because this is just perfection to me. Oh my gosh, it's the softest, prettiest pink. Okay, so, and that you saw it live, well, in a video, I mixed a whole bunch of colors. So that's when I say, when you ask me what color did you use, I honestly don't know, because it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a whole bunch of this, and then something like this magical happens. So, all right, there's that. Oh, so pretty. So there is the bark in there. We're gonna go straight in with paint. We'll see how much of the bark we can cover. It does repel paint in terms of like, it sits on the top, but it doesn't like soak in like it does on the raw cream part of the wood. So the bark, it's gonna give you this two-toned effect, which y'all, I'm not mad about. Are you mad about it? I hope you're not mad about it. That's really cute. And then again, we're gonna go in the center. Now this one's gonna be harder to blend because it's a really blunt kind of, so I'm just gonna kind of smush it in with my finger to give the illusion kind of a two-toned effect. And there you have it. Holy buckets, that's cute. All right, girl, you do your thing. I'm loving this one so stinking much. All right, you guys, there you have it. Our poppy dyeing tutorial. Hide your face, Stephanie. All of them. Oh my gosh. So I did a second. I told you guys that light pink, I'm gonna dye everything this light pink. So I already grabbed another Charlotte and dyed it. Oh my gosh. It is just the softest, prettiest pink. Like it's just the perfect like mauvey light pink. Mwah, I cannot get enough of it. So all my flowers are about to be dyed that color. We also did this tiny little one, but then later on, not filming, but I also grabbed a Charleston and made a real big one. Similar technique. So that was a ton of fun. And then we've also got our lovely, just all yellow one, this nice little shabby looking one, a traditional red poppy, and then of course the pink Charleston that I also think this coloring would be so lovely on a peony. So there you have it. If you guys have any questions, like always, drop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them as soon as possible. If you are looking for other dyeing techniques, we've already done one so far that was, what was it all about? Tulips? No. What was it all about? Was it about the anemone? Could have been. Sure hope it wasn't the poppy, since that's what we just did now. I'll link it below. But ongoing, we're gonna have a ton of them. If there's a particular flower style that you would love to see in these advanced dyeing techniques or these deep dive dyeing techniques, that's a title. Sure, we can go with that. Was it sunflowers? No. daisies? Maybe. It was something. I don't know. I've done too many of these now. Wow, this is a rambling outro. All right, let's wrap this up. If you're loving these videos, want to know when the next one goes live, including the advanced deep dive of dyeing. Oh my gosh. Somebody name this series for me. Make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. If you're new around here, want to check out the flowers. We have over 150 different wood style flowers along with craft supplies and greenery. Go to ohyourlovely.com, and for your first order, if you want, let me show you something right here. Use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off your first order. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go dye everything that light pink because I've got a bunch of it left right here. And yeah, go dye some poppies. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you super soon. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, are absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.